In fact, we've learned something highly remarkable, that Google has a major ranking factor in RankBrain incorporated called something called we call DOM vector. Now, what is DOM? DOM stands for the document object model. The document object model is the node graph like this that gets built from your web page, right? They spider your web page, like you see. There's like this one here's got body, got HTML tags. They spider your web page and build these elements out into nodes in a document object model. And it's actually the document object model that Google indexes and caches in their index. And also, not only this, but they do math on it to determine what people like, what they click, and what people like in a particular niche. For example, in this one, it ends up, this is the kind of page type you need. You need property listings, you need property images, you need a property title, you need a location, you need a price, you need to say new open house, you need to have more images, another open house, you need to have customer reviews, you need to have ratings, and you need to ultimately have this kind of table, and you need to have an all rights reserved. These are the kind of artifacts that Google is looking for people who want to approach spot number one rankings. The further you away statistically from this HTML, exactly as it is here, the further you are away statistically from this HTML, the worse you're going to rank. And it's a pretty major ranking factor. It's like 7 or 8 spots when we tested it. So you could have all of your on-page done exactly correctly in terms of the front-facing page, in terms of like this text here. Let me go here. You can have all the right words, but a totally different design, and you don't have any ratings, you don't have any houses, you don't have any stuff like that. I think you already know what's going to happen to your rankings. They're not going to work. And so people have noticed that, I need an e-commerce page because they call this an e-commerce page. Okay, if that's what you want to call it, I call it the exact right page for this exact right niche, because that's how Google looks at it. And the great news is that's what our AI does for you. It looks through, on the top 100, it looks through tens of thousands of lines of HTML and code and analyzes the vectorization of this. That is to say, the mathematical, not the mean, not the average, but what skews towards spot number one rankings. That vectors towards spot number one rankings. And it builds the page as an amalgamation of that. So it's like, okay, look, you need a header tag. In the header tag, you need an H1 tag. Under that, you need a main tag, and you need a section tag in it. And this section tag needs a class attribute, and it needs